Hi stationery friends, and welcome to Ginger Peachy Stationery. My name is Sarah, and today I want to share with you a video that I told you last week I would not make, which is 10 fountain pens that I would not repurchase. I am pretty good about selling off pens or giving away pens that I just flat out don't like or don't use. But I was talking with Maria Rosso here on YouTube. I think that's how she says her name. And, I kind of realized like I can make my own rules for this. So it doesn't have to be 10 pens that I hate and would never buy again. But I'm kind of doing a mixture of 10 pens that I would either not buy again altogether, some of them that I would not buy with the nib option that I chose, and some of them that I would not buy with the material that they're made of. So let's get right into it. The first pen I have that I would just flat out not buy again is a Cross Bailey Light. I just bought this last year. I was in Office Depot. I thought, that is inexpensive. I think it was about $12, and I thought, let me give it a shot. It was just kind of shiny and blue, and so I picked it up. There are things I like about it. I like the feel of it. It's a nice, the Cross Bailey is a metal pen, but the Bailey Light is a resin, a plastic pen, and I prefer that. It's a little bit lighter. I don't tend to like metal pens, but it's very comfortable to hold and to use, but it's just not a very good nib for me. Maybe it's just the one that I have. I'm trying to show you. Maybe it's just the one that I have, but it, I don't know, it kind of dries out quickly, sitting capped for a couple of days. You have to kind of prime it again, and I don't enjoy that too much. It's got a nice little click, closure. I like that, but I think because it's probably because it's a click closure, I don't know if that's why it does kind of dries out. So I just would not buy this one again. But I'm glad I tried it, and for the time being, I'm going to keep it. Secondly, I would not buy a Platinum Plaisir. I think this pen is adorable. I love the colors, and I am going to hang on to it. But as I said before, I don't like metal pens. They are cold to me, and they feel, I know this sounds crazy, but they feel too hard. And it's not as if plastic is like soft, but they just feel too cold and hard, and I don't love it. I had this pen, when I got this pen, I put the black cartridge in that came with it, and I think it stayed inked for like 6 or 8 months or more before I ever even used up that black cartridge, and it kind of dried out, and I cleaned it. I'm going to hang on to it. I think it's super cute. It might be a pen that I give away to a friend one day or something, and maybe, who knows, I'll come around and use it again. But this is in the colorway Venus Belt, which I think was a limited one. You might still be able to find them, I'm not sure. But if you don't mind metal pens, this is great. Like, it was a great writer. It wrote every time. The nib is smooth. It's a fine nib, very smooth. And it's the body for me. It's the metal body that is not my favorite. And so I just probably will not buy another Platinum Plaisir. And if I lost this one, I would not replace it. Next is the Narwhal. This is the original Narwhal pen. I don't even know that they had a different name. I think they were just the Narwhal fountain pen. I don't know. I want to love these so much. These are so pretty, and I actually had all 4 of the original colors. So I had a green one and a yellow one, and I sold those 2, and then just couldn't bring myself to sell these 2. I like them. I think they're pretty, but whenever I ink them up, I just feel like I'm disappointed in the nib. I'm disappointed in the writing experience. Yeah, it has to do with the nib and the writing experience. I know they make their own nibs. I think that's incredible. And like I said, these are from the very first batch of pens they sold. As soon as they came out, I started purchasing these pretty quickly. And so the materials are pretty. They're sturdy. They haven't cracked or anything like that. It feels very well made, but something about the nibs I just have not loved. So I don't think I would buy these again. Again, they have newer ones now. I cannot speak to how the quality has improved, because I have not purchased any new Narwhal pens. A lot of people love them, and so they very well may have made their nibs better over time, but I would not buy these again. I'm counting those as one, by the way, because they're the same pen. Next is this is controversial, I'm sure, but the Lamy Safari. This was my first fountain pen, really. I mean, I had, growing up, I had some of those Schaefer calligraphy sets. I still have some of those, actually. And then, like, in college, I stumbled up on jet pens, and I bought 2 of these little Pilot Petite pens, and they were kind of just novelties for me. Like, I didn't even take them to class and use them, really. I just sort of had them and would just doodle with them once in a while. So I knew fountain pens existed. My dad was a fountain pen user. But in 2015, early 2015, my boss actually came into my office and he was like, here, try this pen. And he had a blue Lamy Safari with brown ink in it. And I tried it and I was like, oh man, I need one of these. And I'm pretty sure that night I went on Amazon and I bought this pen, and I bought this exact bottle of J. Herbin L'Hermès de Cassis, and I bought a converter. This is my one empty bottle of ink. I keep trying to buy it, but everywhere that I've been shopping has been out of stock because I want some more. But anyway, so this was kind of my first pen. I think this was the second. I may have bought a Pilot Metropolitan after that, but this was either the second or third one. This was the limited, like, coral color that they came out with, and I used them, but since having a lot of other pens, I don't like the nibs on these. I think I could probably buy new nibs and like them better, but I don't know. They're just never very smooth for me. I also do not hold the grip properly. You know, they want you to put your fingers on maybe I should use the other one so you can see better. They want you to put your fingers on like the sides of the triangle grip, but I do not write like that. I write with it rotated just a little bit, with my finger on top of this part, and that gets uncomfortable after just a little while. So I had several other Safaris because, you know, everybody was buying them and I was just always picking up the fun colors. I had one All-Star for a little while and I sold all of those. I kept these because they were 2 of my very first pens. And, you know, like I said, I always think I might buy new nibs for them and try them again. I will say that the coral ink that came out that matched this pen is one of my favorite inks. It is fantastic. I don't know if you could find it anywhere, and let me see, maybe I can quickly find it and show you. But it is a wonderful, wonderful ink. I don't use it all the time because truthfully I don't use like bright oranges and stuff very much, but it looks so orange. It's not orange, it's pink. It's pinky. It's more pink than it appears here, but it's a good, like, it's almost opaque. Like, it almost looks like you're writing with a paint pen when you put it in like a broad nib. I really like it. So I am thankful that I got that ink out of, you know, when I bought this, I bought the matching ink, and I'm grateful for that, I guess. So this next batch, these 3 pens I love, but I would just not buy them with the same nibs, I think. So the first one is this supposed to be Eco in the purple glow, the glow purple. I love this one. I've told you 10 times how much I love this Eco, the color of it. It's filled with Papier Plume Snowball Party Plum ink, and it's a perfect match. What I would not buy is the same nib. I bought this with a fine nib, and it's a little bit dry. I've been into fine nibs lately, which is why I did that. But this ink that I want to use with it, it's a little bit dry. So this is kind of not a good answer, because I would buy this again. If it only came in fine, I would totally buy it. But I do wish I had bought it in a medium, possibly a broad. Also, kind of similar with this TWSBI Diamond 580 in Iris. This pen is gorgeous. And I bought it with a fine nib because, again, I'm kind of in a fine nib phase. I'm kind of leaning again towards mediums, but it's a little dry. Like, it just, and I'm so afraid to try to tune it that I'll make it not smooth anymore, because it is a smooth nib. I've managed to make it just a little bit wetter, but not much. So that's just kind of a regret. I would not buy it again with a fine nib. I would buy it with a medium. Possibly a broad, probably a medium. And then this one, which was in my pens I would repurchase video, I might not buy it again with this soft fine. Is it soft fine? Soft medium nib. It has, I told you in the other video, it has some like feedback that I don't love. It kind of sings a little bit, not a whole lot, but I don't love the feeling of just writing with this nib. So it does not get the love it deserves. So if I could buy it again, I would buy it with a medium or a broad nib. I would not repurchase. The video is I would not repurchase it. I would not repurchase it again with the soft medium nib. All right, these last three, I guess, are kind of weird answers for this, but I love my Esterbook SDs. My issue with this one is the material is weird. I see these SDs in tortoise, and they're so beautiful. I mean, lots of people have them, but mine came, and it has this big space here of just the, like, yellow tan material, and then, like, the whole top is dark brown. And it's like, I don't know, I just am disappointed in this material a little bit. Here's the thing, and this is going to come up again in another pen in just a second. Pen makers, when they post their pictures, they post, of course, the most beautiful version of the pen that they have. And so they post it, like they share pictures of it, and you go, oh my gosh, I need that. And I have multiple times been disappointed when I get a pen and I go, it's just a little off. Like, I didn't expect it to not have even color throughout, you know? It is still beautiful. I know somebody is going to be like, you're crazy, you know? Like, I do use this a good bit, and most of the time I forget about it. But, like, I considered returning it. I probably should have at the time and just gotten a different one. I will keep it. It is mine. You know, at least for the time being. When I am using it, the big, you know, yellow stuff is on the back side. So, you know, I don't know. I know this is not a big deal. I know this is very nitpicky. This is very first world problem, you know. It's not a problem. It's not. But if I did not have this one anymore, I would not buy this exact one back. I would try to see it before I bought it. In the very same token, the same with this SD candy. I got this one and I was a little bit, this is the standard size. So in the other video, I showed you the oversized, and this oversized one is like the perfect candy specimen. I mean, it's perfect. It's got plenty of pink. It's got plenty of gold. It shimmers just right. It looks like the color was mixed really well. You know, it's gorgeous. But this one, I don't know, like, it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. This material is beautiful. I have almost sold this pen a couple of times, and then I backed out and was like, no, here's what I really love the grip here. You know, I've backed out and I've kept it because it is so pretty. It's got a really great broad nib on it. There's nothing wrong with it, you know, like, there's nothing wrong with it, but you just see those pictures of the materials and you go, ooh, I need that. And then I just opened it and I was like, it doesn't look like the pictures. Like, it just, I don't know, the ratios of the colors were not just right in my mind. So, I know that might sound so silly, but you know, I think I would do a lot better if I were close to a pen show and I could pick things up like this, you know, seeing them first instead of buying things and then it's like a surprise and you get it and you go, oh, it's not what I expected. You know, I wish that I do a lot better with like small makers when I can see a pen before I commit to it. So there's that one. And then this Kaweco Sport, this was one of my very first fountain pens. I probably would not buy this clear one again because look at that. I like stained it super terribly, by eyedroppering it like the day that I got it, and I've never been able to clean it. This one did not come with a great nib. It was back before Kaweco kind of started up in their game. on their nibs. So I would not buy this one again and eyedropper it. I don't know if this is a good answer or not. But probably would not. A couple of sort of, well, okay, let me jump back way back here to the Platinum Plaisir. This Platinum Meteor is such a better option for me. If you don't like metal pens, if you can find a Platinum Meteor, this one is the like Hello Kitty series, and it has, well, this one has My Melody on it, but it's a little Sanrio series. It's the same, like it's the same grip section, it's the same nib. These are both fine nibs, I think. Like I think these are the same. This one does have a little star on it, which is really cute, whereas this one has the Platinum logo. So, you know, that's a difference, but like they're the same nibs. I'm sorry. I know it's getting blurry. So, that's an alternative. I know I'm backtracking, and I like this one a lot better because it's plastic. It's more comfortable for me. Yeah, so just sharing that. It's not the nib, it's the metal body. So a couple of other ones that I'm looking at these and I'm like, I'm not sure. I need to use them again and make this decision. I feel like the Pilot Pereira, it has a great nib on it. It's got a really great little click to it. I mean, just, you know, I pick it up and I'm like, why do I not use this more? But I feel like every time I ink it up, it just doesn't stay, the ink doesn't stay at the nib. It sort of dries out for me or something. And I don't know, it just, after a couple of weeks of it being inked up, I'm like, I'm done with this, and I go put it in my thing to be washed. So that's kind of an honorable mention, I guess. I don't know, I guess it could be number 10 if I put these together, because that's kind of the same thing. And then last but not least this is another one that I'm sort of like, I'm not sure. It's a Platinum, I want to say it's called a Platinum Cool, C-O-O-L. It has a clear feed, which is super neat. I thought that was super novel when I bought it. It seems like this was around $50 or so. It does feel nice. I mean, you can see it's just plastic. Like, it's not fancy. You know, I would say it's probably in the same kind of family as the Pilot Pereira. You know, I don't remember if it came with a converter or if I bought one, but it just doesn't wow me. Like, the nib is not quite as good to me as even the Plaisir and the Meteor. It's got a nice click to it. I mean, it's objectively really nothing wrong. It seals well, but the nib is not wonderful. I think that's what it is, and it's probably just this one. But I need to give it another shot. So these two were kind of like, I don't know if I would repurchase them again. I kind of need to give them another chance. Let me scooch these in here. So that is the 10-ish pens I would not repurchase. And then I thought, just for fun, I would throw in a few inks. So there are several inks that I know I would not repurchase. The first one is J. Erbon Cafe de Iles. I don't know. I need to go watch that video of how they are pronounced. Do you see how this is like sort of globby on here? That is how this ink is. As soon as I bought it, someone else commented, I think I shared it here on YouTube, and someone was like, yeah, that's a terrible ink. And they're right. So for comparison, here is Monteverde Pumpkin Cake, which is a similar color. It's not exactly the same. It's a little redder. But do you see how like this one is smooth on the card? And then this one comes out like globby. It's almost like there's like goo in it. There's not. It was fine. You know, it looks fine. It's liquid, but it just does not work great in your pen. It does not come out well of the pen. The pumpkin cake is not, you know, without its own faults. It kind of did that thing where it kind of grew crystals on the nib. It washes out fine and everything. Monteverde inks are good, but this kind of brown, this like red brown, is not very easy to find. Ones that don't have a little bit of finickiness. English language here, Sarah. That, you know, they're just kind of finicky in this color family. But anyway, I would not buy this one again. It was not very expensive. You know, I'm not going to cry over it. It was like $5.50. But would not buy it again. I did spill it out when I was filling a pen with it the first time. But yeah, that one. And then I would not buy most of my shimmer inks again. So I know that y'all are going to think this is a tragedy, but Emerald of Chivor, like I bought it, you know, as soon as I could get my hands on it. It's beautiful. Like this bottle is beautiful. The ink is beautiful. Here's my swatch. I mean, y'all, it's gorgeous. I never use it. What I have learned about myself is I don't love shimmer inks. Like, I think they're so pretty. I am a magpie, you know, you see my pens are all colorful, mostly. I've gotten into neutrals just like in the last couple of years, a little bit, but, you know, like objectively, is that the word? No, I don't know. I love glitter. Like, I like glittery things in my life. I never use this. I would not buy it again. I don't love sheening inks, and this has sheen. I've learned that. I started out thinking sheen was the bomb.com, and the longer I use fountain pens, the more I learned that I don't love sheening inks. So, would not repurchase. And Pelican Golden Barrel is another one I'm kind of on the fence about it. This pen is beautiful. I mean, this ink is beautiful. I have the matching pen. I need to use it again. It behaves pretty well in the pen. I just don't reach for it. Like, this is one that I might sell off this Emerald of Chivor. I probably will keep this. It's so unique, you know, it's like gold in a bottle. It's beautiful, but if I had to do it over, I probably just would not buy it again. But I probably will keep it. And then last but not least is this Van Diemen's. Oh, and here's the card. Look how pretty. It is really pretty. It's just not something I reach for, you know. I inked up the matching pen one time and used it all up and cleaned it, and I've never used it again. So, last but not least is this Van Diemen's Tasmania in Snowy Mountain Sunset. I saw this in someone's Instagram post. Excuse me. It was so beautiful. Look at this, guys. It is gorgeous. And I was like, oh yes, I need this in my life. I ordered it from Australia, you know, like it costs too much money to order it. They did send some samples of 2 inks that I really have enjoyed. So, you know, I'm not mad about it, but it is difficult in pens. Like, it's not difficult. That's not a good word. But I've got it in a double broad nib, and it's still, like, on paper is never as dark as it is on here. It never looks like this. I hardly ever even see the shimmer. This is not the fault of Van Diemen's, okay? This is a beautiful ink. If you like these kind of inks, I would not tell you not to buy this. I'm just saying I probably should have saved my, like, $30 after it was all over and not bought it. And next time, I won't. So there have been some really pretty shimmer inks that have come out lately, and I have, you know, been like, those are beautiful, and now I know myself well enough to know not to buy them. I'm not saying I will never buy a shimmer ink ever, but I just know that I am not going to use them enough for it to be worth spending a lot of money, generally. So the two inks that they sent me are Native Cornflower. This blue is incredible. I love this. And then this one is actually a shimmer. It's called Huon, H-U-O-N, Huon Midwinter Festival. It is a shimmer ink, and I've got it in a Pelican broad nib. It's a brown ink with gold shimmer. And while I will not probably buy a bottle of this, again, just because I don't use shimmers very much, this one I will probably use up the sample because it is really beautiful, the brown with the gold. So this could eventually be an exception to my rule. Probably will never buy a bottle of it, but it is really beautiful, and it behaves really well in the Pelican broad nib that I have it in. So anyway, that is my pens and inks that I would not repurchase if I lost everything. Which, you know, I pray does not happen. Really quick, I just thought I don't know how many of you have watched very many of my videos, but if you've noticed that my fingernail looks kind of bad, it is not gross. I know it looks like kind of crazy. I had my fingernail punctured by a family pet. And so it was okay, but it is cut all the way through. And so it's got some like tape over it and then some layers of like a liquid bandage. So I know it looks gross, but it's not like a fungus or anything. I'm just letting it grow out, and it's almost grown out. So I'm just letting it grow out until that, break in it is gone. So I'm sorry if you've seen that and you're like, what is wrong with her fingernail? It is fine. I don't have fingernail fungus or anything. I used to keep my fingernails long, and the last few years, I've just been like, nope, chop them, chop them. I'm just, for typing and stuff, I'm over it. So, anyway, all that to say, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate those of you who watch and subscribe. I'm getting ready to share my YouTube channel on my Instagram. I'm going to be brave, and those are people that I interact with a good deal. And I've been nervous to share my YouTube channel with them, but I think I'm going to this week. So, by the time you see this, you may have come here from Instagram and found me. So, anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great week. Bye.